your strength and show me your weakness. We're in this together now. We're in this together now. Give me your love and tell me your secrets. 'Cause we're in this together now. Yeah, we're in this together now. No, 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 no. I'll keep you safe, I'll give you my everything. Even if we're falling down, even if we're falling down, all of me is yours, every part of me. 'Cause we're in this together now. You and me together now. What's the point of living if we're scared to lose each other? What's the point of living without you? Tell me now and I'll stop fighting. Tell me now and I'll stop breathing. I don't want to be here without you. Without you. Without you. Without you. Without you. No, 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 no. I'll be your light, I'll keep you from darkness. Even when the sun don't shine, even when the sun don't shine. Give me your strength, show me your weakness. 'Cause we're in this together now. You and me together now. What's the point of living if we're scared to lose each other? What's the point of living without you? Tell me now and I'll stop fighting. Tell me now and I'll stop breathing. I don't want to be here without you. Without you. Without you. Without you. Without you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Boy, do I need a Milo this morning. It's only around about 5 degrees Celsius. I think it's really cool. But, cheers. Oh, boy, do I need that. Welcome, everyone. We are in pre-show. Let me just put that up so that people know. There will be a timeline down below, so if you don't want to watch all of these stories, well, you can just check the timeline. I'll have that posted straight after, so you can skip to the story that you wanted to go to. So let me see too who's in the chat. I just wanted to make Carol a moderator too in here. Okay, so let's have a look. So Tasm was here early saying, I will consider the lens if it's 2.8. We're going to talk about the new Tamron and also a Sigma lens this morning as well. Tasm also said he's going to sell the 70 to 300 FE now on eBay to buy the Tamron 70 to 180. So that's really interesting. So you're certainly not mucking around. Let me just clip over here so we can see what people are saying. Nin said also, I ordered the 28-200 yesterday from Cardinal Camera. Will be here June the 16th. Oh, wow, along with the 70-180. Oh, boy, you have bought a couple of great lenses there. I thought it was the 25th that this was going to be actually released. I'll talk about it. Well, it's the first story today, but I was meant to get it on Wednesday, but it's still held up in Singapore. So I was hoping to do an unboxing yesterday as the announcement was made. That was the plan, but it's been kept in Singapore or something, so it may come today or it might come early next week because I'm going to take it straight out and do a shoot with it and review it for you guys. Brian said the A7S III is dead. Where are you getting that from, Brian? Oh, my God. Leslie said, where did you hear that one? I love it. Hello, David and everyone. Cold morning, but nice. And she's just got the NBN here as well. So that'd be nice. Leslie. Anthony's also saying, g'day, Bacchus. That's because I'm from Bacchus Marsh. Sean said, party time. Yep. Anthony said, you should be out in the yard doing this today. What are you talking about? The filming, Anthony? Is that what you're saying? Jeffrey's just saying hello. Chris is saying hello, David. Feels like summer in Los Angeles. It feels like winter here today. I think we're a top of 16 Celsius today. I don't know. What's that? High 60s or something? In Fahrenheit. The weather's been pretty good considering it's our winter. The weather's actually been lovely, really. Good morning, David. Jeffrey said, happy Friday. I hope you got your Milo. I certainly have, Jeffrey. Where else were we? Down here. Oh, yeah, there we go. Colin's here as well. David's saying, love the video. Thank you so much, Colin. Yeah, I love that video of Chiara. It was beautiful. All shot with the A7 III and the 55mm f1.8. I love that combination. It's just so good. Mark's here as well. G'day, Mark. James is here as well. Rick's saying, hey, David, it's lovely here in Brooklyn. Stop rubbing it in. I don't mind. And you know what? I actually quite like the seasons, the changes here. It's quite good. It's not like we have, winter like some of what you Americans have up north and stuff like that near the Canadian border, that's for sure. Thomas said, g'day, David. Altric said, hey. Hugh said, excited. Carol's here as well. Photomaniac's here. I've said that wrong then. Ike's here. Brandon, coffee. I'm having a Milo, actually. Ike said, okay, so the show started so I can wake up now. Guy with the camera said, howdy. Eli said, hey, David, what plugin do you use for the motion graphics with the text mic review you did? It is... Let me just see if I can find it for you. It's M-install. It's actually a... it's called... I'll tell you exactly what it was called. It's called M Callout Specs is the plugin. It's called M Callout Specs. It's a great little plugin. I've bought a few of those over the last few days. Let me just see. How do I get rid of that now? I just click outside. Biggie Blue I said, g'day, g'day, Lord Oastler and everyone. Finally got a live one. Haven't seen you in a long time. Well, nice to see you here. John's also here as well. Erica is here. Guy with the camera saying, not selling anything for the 28-200, but struggling to decide between the 70-180, which to get first. I'll be getting the 70-180 definitely, but when I sell my 70-200 F4 sometime later this year, I think. 70-180 so far is great. Steve's here as well. G'day, Steve. Carl, I'm selling the Ferrari F8 to buy this lens. I'm DeBrown. G'day, mate. Gigi Tolgoga said the Tamron 70-200 is 2.8 up to 30. I'm going to go all through that, so I'll tell you exactly what where the 2.8 changes to 3.2, etc. My 70-180 has been in my hands for about 2 weeks now, having a blast with it. Yeah, it's such a great lens. Ike said if the A7 III has an impressive show as a the PS5, PlayStation, Sony will be just fine. And hopefully that'll be in the next couple of weeks. We're waiting on. I'll talk about that later on. Hey everyone, I freaking made it for once. Langston's here. He's been busy lately. G'day, Langston. How are you? What else? And that's about it. Bruce is here. G'day, Bruce. Good to see you in here. I haven't seen you in a live chat for a while. Let me make you a moderator as well, Bruce, actually. There you go, Bruce. You should be a moderator as well now. I met Bruce when we were in San Francisco. Had an absolute ball. It was really good. All right, so let me get started with the show. Let me just put down here, show start is 9 minutes. 9:55. And let's get stuck into this.
If you're looking for some crazy, I'll tell you everybody's standing in a line for the water slide. You can come on over, we can take the roller coaster. And you know everybody's looking for a ride in the water slide. Water slide.
Well, welcome everyone. Welcome back to the usual Friday show, or Thursday for everyone else. Got some interesting stories to tell you today. Well, we're going to look at a couple of lenses really, and also discuss the latest Sony rumours for the A7S as well. So we've got a few things that we can discuss in here as well. There will be a timeline down below, so if you don't want to watch everything that's on here, you can just skip to whatever you'd like to go to. Well, what's Langston saying? I'm just looking too bad. It's an Apple only. Oh, what are you talking about there, Langston? Not sure what that was talking about. Just trying to see where it came up. No, I don't know. I'll check it when we go back through the questions. So we've got some interesting things. Andre also said, how are you? G'day, Andre. G'day, Timothy, because I missed you before. Also, John is in here as well. So hi, guys, and thanks for joining us. Yeah, with the Tamron lens, I was meant to get that on Wednesday, the 28-200, but it's been held up in Singapore, so I've had issues with getting it. I was hoping to do a live unboxing yesterday when it was announced at 1 p.m. my time, actually. I was going to do a live unboxing of it then, but obviously it didn't come. It's still stuck in Singapore, obviously, probably everything because of the virus and stuff like that. Everything's been held back, and it's getting hard to get things out of there. Yeah, thanks, Langston. It is. The link was Motion VFX. Let me just pull that up because someone asked before what that one was, that thing I used, the plugin. It's called Motion VFX, and it was the call-outs one. It was the plugin that I used. Thanks for that, mate. Yeah, and it is only Mac. Yes, you're right. So, yeah, apart from that, it's I'll have it hopefully probably Monday, Tuesday. Just depends on when it comes or gets shipped into Melbourne. The second it gets here, I'll grab it and I'll unbox it for you. And then I'm going to go out and do a shoot down the coastline, which is what I did with Kiara there that you saw at the beginning. So I want to do a shoot there down the coast with someone or whatever, but sort of do it that way, like because it is a travel type lens, I want to do it like it is being used for travel. So I thought I'd go down our Great Ocean Road, shoot perhaps some of the lovely waterfalls, some of the beautiful scenery down there, and hopefully I can take a model with me as well, and we can go through all some stuff as well. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. So I look forward to seeing it. Just to show you some of the things that I have just been sent though. Let me just show you a couple of these things. I've just been sent this Firetech gimbal. This is a well, it's an iPhone one, which is going to be interesting to have a play with. So I've got that I've got to look at. I've also been sent this on-camera microphone that I want to look at, which is sort of like I think it's like the Rode Video Micro type thing, but I haven't opened them yet, so I'll have to have a look at them. So that's another one I'll be having a look at. This is interesting because these are, I was always interested to see how these compare to the Rode, these things. What are they? These. So this is sort of another version of that. So I'm looking forward to trying these out and to see how they compare in audio and, well, obviously the sound and also range as well. These also come with a couple of lav mics as well already in it. So stay tuned for that. This one I'm particularly excited about though, because Small Rig sent me this. Now, this looks absolutely beautiful because you notice at the top there it has a red button that you can press record on this. So this is for Sony cameras. This is strictly a Sony trigger. So you can hold this, because I do love holding these handles. They're beautiful to hold. And I've been dying to try one of these out, that when I've got this all rigged up on a cage and everything, that I can just press the red button at the front to do the recording, rather than, you know, trying to sort of push your hands sort of around the rig to get it to work. So that's another exciting thing too. I can't wait to set that up and try that out. So I've got a few things there that I can play with, and obviously the Tamron lens is going to be coming in the next few days. Is that another handle, is it? Guy with the camera, I'm not sure. I definitely want to see what the wireless mic versus Rode is. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to trying those all out and just to see how they are. So let's go to the first story today, which is the Tamron 28-200. Let me just put the timing in. 15:30. Okay, so Tamron, was it, I think yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. I think it was yesterday, because I was meant to unbox it yesterday. Brought out the latest lens that they've come out. Boy, are Tamron starting to drop some lenses now, and I've got a Sigma lens I'm going to talk about soon as well. But this lens, apparently, from what I've been told by the Tamron reps, is outstanding. They actually say it is incredible for the price that they're offering this lens at. It's going to be, I think it's around about $700, $750 or something like that US. Australian, I believe it's going to be around about $1,100, $1,200, I think. So to let you know about what the price is roughly around here. But it looks really good. But let me first of all play this little intro that they sent me, just so we can have a look at that first. So let me click over onto this. So that was just a quick promo that they sent me. Like a guy with a camera there also said that the MTF of the 28-200 is better on the long end. Incredible. Yeah, and I was told, like I said, yesterday when the guys were telling me about this lens, the ones that had seen it. I noticed Mark also from Tamron was saying he was amazed at how good the quality of the lens is as well. He's from the Rocky Mountains Tamron website. He's a Tamron rep. Was saying it was amazing as well. So I can't wait to try it myself. I'll tell you exactly how I feel about it when I get it. I mean, you'll not only that, but you'll see how it's used in real life. So I'll be doing that sometime next week probably. But let me just switch over to here. And I'll just sort of talk to you a little bit about what this lens is. Now, it's roughly the same size. To show you the size, I think I had it, where was it? Here. Did I have the size? No, that's against the Sony. It's the same size roughly as the 28-75. So that gives you an idea about the actual size of this. So this is going to be a brilliant travel type lens, and it may be one that I may get the next time I do a big travel type thing, but who knows when that will be at the moment. I mean, we don't know when we're going to be able to travel again, but it certainly will be one that I'll probably get in the future, because I thought this would be great to have for this range, and then say take a fast prime with it, and then you'd be covered for sort of everything that you needed to do. Like, it might be that I'd travel with that and then the 24 GM. That way I've got a 1.4 aperture, and then I can also use this as well. Now I'll show you in the specs exactly where this sort of sits in aperture range, just so that you know, because remember, it's a variable aperture, so it will change as you start to zoom in, but I'll show you exactly where it starts to change and things like that. I'll discuss that with you in this, in case if anyone is interested. It is a 2.8 to 5.6. Now, the last one that I used, I think it was the it might have been the 35 to 105. I can't remember. It was the Tamron lens, and that was amazing. Like, I was so incredibly happy with that, but that was for the Nikon mount that I did a review of, and that was superb as well. Now, I think this is probably going to be even better. I have been told that the focusing on this lens, again, is outstanding. It's like using the Tamron 28 to 75, etc., and the 70 to 180. So the focus is meant to be great in it as well. So let's just look down at what this does. Like I said, it's a variable aperture. It starts at 2.8 and then we'll go up to 5.6, and I'll show you exactly where that happens later on. I'm just scrolling through this because this has just been sent to me just so that I could share it with you guys. Let's see what else it's saying. The lens has a large maximum aperture of 2.8 at the wide end, which represents the world's first for an all-in-one zoom lens. And that's what is really good about this, that if you did need to shoot at 2.8, you could obviously shoot it at 28mm, and then you've got a 2.8 lens. That can be the difference of not having to raise your ISO up as well. It does... Oh, why did that move then? That's weird. Oh, hang on. Let me just make it actual size, I think. Oh, no. Don't know why it moved. Just see if I can bring that back. I don't know why it moved. Oh, there we go. Let's see what else it says. All-in-one zoom, 28mm the wide end to 200mm in the telephoto end. It's 117mm, 4.6 inches in height, and it weighs 575 grams. So it's not heavy at all. In fact, like I said, it'd be a great one just to stick in your bag if you wanted to travel light and have a fairly good coverage range that you could do for. I'm just trying to see what else it says in here. Tamron has also taken an uncompromising approach to optical performance, making liberal use of special lens elements, including low dispersion, and XLD, extra low dispersion, to greatly... this will be interesting. It's saying it suppresses the chromatic aberrations, making it possible to achieve high quality images. And that's what I was told. They were saying that the image quality that you're going to get out of this is incredibly good. It'll be interesting to see how the vignetting is. Again, I'll tell you how that is. But I'm never one that's fussed too much about the vignetting, because I often like that look anyway. But like I said, I'll tell you exactly how it looks, because you'll see it in the review that I do. Minimum focal distance too is 7.5 inches at the wide end, and I'll talk about the macro in a minute. It's not quite as good as the Tamron 28 to 75 or the 17 to 28, but it is still very, very good for this type of lens that you can get in close, and I'll show an example of that fairly soon as well. The AF drive system is powered by the rapid, it says E-Extra silent stepping drive motors as well. So it's got those high performance motors in them as well. And it also is moist resistant construction, and it has the fluorine coatings for added protection as well. Now it says down here, I'm just trying to see where it shows the close up. Oh, here. It will show here close-up shooting performance. That's astounding in an all-in-one zoom. So it does do, I think it's 1:3. It delivers amazing close-up performance for an all-in-one zoom at the 28mm wide-angle part of the lens, with a maximum magnification ratio of 1:3:1, which is really quite good. Like I said, the Tamron that I use at the moment, the 28 to 75 and the 17 to 28, is 1:2. So it's not a 1:1 macro, but you can sort of see the results like on this flower that you could get by using this lens. So it's really quite good in that regards, that you don't have to have a macro lens if you'd like to take photos of flowers and things like that. I mean, particularly if you were shooting with something like the A7R4 with the resolution that you've got, well, then you're even going to be able to blow that up a lot closer. But it certainly is a great feature to have. So yes, not as good as the 28-75, but certainly good enough that you could use it to get details and things like that where you want to get reasonably close. There was nothing mentioned in that I had to show you. Was there? It just says it's got broadband anti-reflection coatings, likely to occur when shooting backlight scenes. So it's saying it's got coatings to enable you to shoot the backlit scenes. High performance autofocus systems means you'll own every shooting opportunity, and I've been told the focusing is incredibly fast. And I'm used to now using like I said, the 28-75 and the 17-28, and the 70-180 was amazingly fast. So I believe this is sort of going to be around about that speed, which if it is, will be superb to attach to things like, your A9s and everything else. So it looks really, really good. And with a focusing system that is both smooth and quiet, I'll test this also on video when I get the lens next week for you. I'll shoot a little bit of video so that you can see how the focusing works. I'll do that as well. The other thing too that I thought that I wanted to do as well was I'll take the A6-400 with me as well. So that I can shoot it with the A6-400 and use the extra crop mode. Just so people always ask, how will this lens go with an A6, an APS-C type camera? So I'll take my A6-400 with me as well, so that I can shoot it with that too, so you can get an idea about how that will work at the same time. But they are saying that it's silent, so I would expect it to be like their other lenses. There's just a thing here sort of talking about going through the whole focal range, which is 28mm up to your 200mm. And like I said, it'll be interesting once you put that on APS-C. I'm hoping I can catch some surface or something like that, just to be able to see with the APS-C camera to see how it goes. And it just is built with mirrorless in mind. Like all the Tamron lenses now that are built for Sony, they are new designs, and I think that's one of the great things about them. They are designed from the mirrorless from the ground up. So it's fast, hybrid AF, IAF, direct manual focus for DMF if you like using that, and I do use that sometime. In-camera lens correction, etc. And that's about it for that. But to show you the focal ranges or where it changes the aperture, I thought that I'd show you this. So what it's saying on this is that on the left-hand side is the Tamron, on the right-hand side is the Sony. Just so that you can see what they roughly are. Now it says at 28mm it's 2.8. The equivalent Sony is 3.5 at 24mm. The 35mm, it goes up to 3.2. So you can see immediately the second you take it out of 28mm, it is going to go up. And that's a general thing with these zoom lenses, that the second you start to zoom up, it will go up. But it's not too bad, because if you look at the 50mm, it's 3.5 as against 4.5 on the 24-240. 70mm it's f4, so it will only get up to 5.6 at 200mm. At 135 it's actually f5 as against the 24-240, which is 135 at the 135mm, which is 6.3. So you're saving you're having an extra lot of light coming in on this. So I think it seems to be like it's pretty good. So if you're using it as a 50mm, you're obviously going to get a 3.5. If you want to shoot wide open, you're going to have to be at 28. The second you go down to a 35mm, which is 3.2. So overall, it's pretty good. I mean, I was quite happy with that when I looked at it. Like I said, the lens comparison size they're showing here is against the Sony on this side. You can see that it is larger than what the Sony is. The overall length is 117 and it weighs 575 grams. And the filter size, which is incredible because they've still got the 67mm filter thread size, which means if you have the 28-75, the 17-28, and also the 70-100, you can use the same filter thread the whole way through, which is brilliant. And the maximum diameter is 74mm. If you compare that to the 24-240 GM, not the GM, I mean the Sony lens. The overall length is 118.5. The maximum diameter is 80.5. The weight is 780 grams, so it's quite a lot heavier than what the Tamron is, so much better for travel. And the filter size is 72mm as against 67, which is amazing when you think that this is a 2.8 lens. I suppose you've got a 24mm there, so it probably makes sense, and you've got it slightly longer. So I think the Tamron seems to, look like quite a winner if you look at it overall. But like I said, I'll check with you next week when I get the lens, because I thought, like I said, I wanted to do a real world review, and I thought that's why it might be good if I go and take it traveling and stuff like that. But it looks like the variable aperture is nice. I was surprised it was a 2.8. That really did surprise me for the range of the lens that this is, that they were able to give us a 2.8. Up to a 200mm from 28 to 200. So it's fantastic. And I think, like I said, if you had this as a travel lens and then you say combined it with something like a 24 GM or something like that, if you needed to go and work under low light conditions, it would be fantastic. But I think the 28, even at 2.8, is quite workable. This may also be a reasonable wedding lens. It's a great overall lens because of the fact that you've got the 28 and 2.8 wide open if you needed that as well. So I think it seems to be really useful, and I really do have to say, I'm not sponsored by Tamron. They just send me the stuff out to test, and they always say, tell the truth, David, do it, say it as it is. But they really are kicking some goals at the moment, and good on them. I mean, it's fantastic. Competition, it just makes it good for us. I mean, I shouldn't say definitely, I probably would go over the Tamron than the Sony, because I would like the 2.8. The weight certainly appeals to me for travel, and also that filter thread size, because I have the other Tamron lenses, is also a big advantage as well. So I think this will absolutely sell like crazy. I would be really surprised if this doesn't sell, particularly at the price range that they're asking. It's around about $300 cheaper than the Sony lens, which is fantastic as well. So that, you could save around $300, put that towards buying another prime or something else. So it's really interesting. Anyway, I'd love to know what you guys think about it. So I want to open up the chat just to see what anyone is saying about this, or any other questions before we go on to some other news. This isn't locked, is it? Oh dear. I don't know if it's going to let me switch. I think Wirecast has crashed. Oh, no, there we go. Geez, that was slow. That took ages. That's weird. Let me go up here just to see where we were before. So fire away if you have any questions about this as well. It's 95 degrees here, and I'm about to go out and shoot, Langston said. Oh, that'll be fun, Langston. I don't mind shooting in the heat, though. I really like the small form factor of the 28-200, but as a photographer who loves nighttime street photography, I have no choice but to get the 70-180 2.8. Yeah, I can fully understand that. I mean, if you need... The 70-180 is going to give you a much nicer portrait-type lens. But, if you wanted a lens that would be perfect for travel, the 70-180 is not ideal for travel because you just can't go wide enough to get some scenery and things in. The 28-200 I could get by with, and like I said, just potentially take another wide-angle zoom or something, or a wide-angle prime or something like that with you. Bruce was just saying hi when he came in. What else? M-Call out specs looks pretty cool. Yeah, it is. It's a great thing, Langston. But like I said, it's something you've got to have Mac to use it. Johnson City said, I agree. Philip Henry, Sony and Zeiss have had their fun with the 50, and it's time for a GM version. I must have missed another comment that people were talking about there. The Motion VFX is located here in Johnson City. I have friends that work there. I toured their offices last month. Wow, fantastic. Great plugins for Final Cut. I have got so many of their plugins. I love them. John said, stuck in Singapore sounds like your film title. I love it. Johnson City says at least one of their offices is. Talking about that place. Yeah. Tell them they need to make stuff for Resolve and Premiere. Now, Going with the Camera said they copied Tilter. I think that's talking about this. But focus. Yeah, it's. I can't wait to try that out. It looks beautiful. I did take it out of the box just to feel it, and it felt beautiful. I can't wait to try it on a rig. That's only for Sony, though. That is only a Sony. Stay tuned for the review. Langston said maybe it's actually affordable then. Those Tilter products have quite the premium. Yeah, I can't remember what this was worth. I think it was about $80 or something. I'll have to find out and see how much it was actually worth. It might have been $80 or $90. I think. I can't remember. I'll have to check. The MTF on this 28-200 is better on the long end. Incredible. Yeah, they had the MTF charts down here, I think. Was it down here? Let me just switch to this. Hopefully it won't lock again. There was all MTF charts. I'll leave these down in the links down below so you can have a look at all of this sort of stuff. The MTF charts do look really, really good. You can also check about the glass and stuff, how the lens was made and things like that if you wanted to check all of that out as well. Let me go back to there. What else have we got? That sweet compression of the 200, never get tired of it. I know it does. It looks beautiful. Tamron became a nice lens. They have. Look, their lenses are incredible, and what they've offered now for Sony is unbelievable. I'm so happy that they're bringing out what they're bringing out, because like the 28-75 is a staple for me. I use that all the time, and it is brilliant, that lens. I mean, it really is brilliant. I'll show some of the work once we've finished this at the end. Remind me, because I'll show you some of the dancing video pics I've just shot, and you can have a look at the 28-75, how it works in the studio. I just don't want to do it at the moment because it might crash. Andre says, I'm curious what Tamron will do with the Canon RF mount. Yeah, who knows? I did hear that Sigma are going to do something there on the RF mount, though. How is the glass compared to the GM series, I wonder? I just bought the A7 R3 and want to get the Sony GM 16-35 2.8 zooms, but this looks very versatile for what I'd like to shoot and much more compact. Look, it's the Sony GM 16-35 is an amazing lens. Don't compare that to this lens. They're totally different lenses. I'm sure the GM would probably out-resolve what this lens would do, and it probably would be a little bit sharper. I'd be surprised if it wasn't for the price that you're paying for the GM particularly. But if you'd like a lens that is an overall lens, like I said, a travel-type lens that you can just throw in your bag and take away and get that full range out of it, it's a brilliant lens. Remember, Tamron are marketing this as a travel lens, but I have been told it's incredibly sharp. But I can't comment on that fully until I try it out myself. Langston said, I thought they had, but then still get confused on which Canon mounts are which. Yeah, they've got them for their normal mounts, but not the RF mounts, Langston. Tamron make lenses for everyone, basically. Nikon, Canon, and Sony, obviously, but they don't make RF mounts. I don't think anyone does at this stage apart from Canon, the RF, but I do believe Sigma are talking about making some now. Andre said, Erica, get the Tamron 17-28. That is also a fantastic lens. I've still got to put out that review that I did of that when I was in the States. And this one instead of the GM, and you'll have some nice money for a weekend out. That's true. I mean, you will save an awful lot of money if you buy that lens. You could probably buy both of them for less than paying for the GM. I shoot 70% of my work on various art cameras and the 16-35 GM, and it's amazing. Yeah, it is. It's a fantastic lens. You wouldn't be disappointed. It would be sharper than the travel lens. Just depends on what you need it for. Yep. Brandon says that and the same filter size for all of them, the 67. And that's exactly right, Brandon. The fact that you can get that same filter size thread for the whole lot saves you so much money, because if you're buying really expensive filters And I buy the more expensive ones. To be able to use one set of filters for everything you do is really fantastic. I love that aspect of it. In fact, sometimes when I get out my other lenses and I've got to use a 72mm thread, it's a pain because then I've got to find a filter for it. And I just like to take out, the filters as they are. Actually, I'll show you what I just got. I bought this when I was in the US, but I'll show you. Yeah, I bought this when I was at WWDC. It's a Mind Shift. I don't know whether anyone has seen these before. Let me just see if I can. So it's Mind Shift. And basically what it does is you can fit your filters inside this little packet. So this is what I'm using. So I've got all of my filters that I use in here. So I can just throw it in the thing. Because the problem is normally when you've got all your filters in those hard cases, they take up so much room all the time and I'm always dropping them or whatever or leaving them somewhere. Whereas this way, I've got all my filters in the one bag. It's all padded, all protected, and then you can just basically pull your filter out that you need and then throw it back in. So it's fantastic. So I love this little thing. Yeah, I bought that at WWDC. I can't remember what shop it was that I bought it from. Oh, it was Think Tank. So this is actually Think Tank. Yeah, so it's Mind Shift, it's called. Mind Shift gear, and it's from Think Tank, if anyone was interested in it. Love it. One of the best things that I've bought. Now I can take all my filters. I keep them all neatly in one little pack like that. You could even hang it if you wanted to hang it off your belt or something or whatever if you were, constantly changing. But it's great. Good to know. Thank you. He's talking about someone else there. RVG1 says, hello from Plankton, is it? Plantation, I think, Florida. May get the Tamron 28-200 if the reviews are good. Well, stay tuned. Hopefully I'll have mine out sometime next week. What's a good camera for a YouTuber with no camera skills? I said Sony because of the AF. Yep, definitely. So you can't beat the Sony AF, that's for sure. And you know what I always say, I still think one of the best cameras that you can get, remember, if you're dealing with having to use a gimbal, go and if you haven't got much money at all, get the A6 400. You don't need the A6 600. In fact, every time I look at the stabilization on the A6 600 without a gimbal, it looks terrible. So save the money, get the A6 400, use the money you save to purchase a gimbal, and you'll have a great setup. It's got the flip-up screen, amazing autofocus, great colors, you've got all your picture profiles if you need them, and it's got everything you need. Obviously then, if you have a fraction more money, go for the A7 III, which is still an incredibly good value camera if you want to move to full frame. Let's keep going down to see what people are saying. But maybe the A6 100 would be good with the AF to film himself. They're just talking amongst themselves, I think, there. Aaron's photo and video said, hello, David. G'day, Aaron. How are you? What about the AF Performance Photometry, the M50? Have you used the M50? I can't remember. Ike's been putting out a few videos lately. Johnson says, wish that the A6 100 would go back to on the EDU discount, so it's education discount. I wasn't in the market for one, but $450 for new. Wow, yeah, they're amazing, some of those education prices, that's sure, for sure. I just got rid of my Sony 24-240 last week. Why did you sell it? You just weren't using it, or? The 24-240 Sony is total trash, never buy it. Well, there you go. So I think this one is going to kill it if that's the case. I haven't used that lens though, so I don't know because I've never actually shot with that lens. What else? Just coming down. Just pre-ordered it in B&H. Hope we're right about it. Yeah, let's hope. I will try. I'll put a link down below, guys. Love it if you could support the channel. I will stick one down below if you did want to buy one. Guy with the camera said, I do like it for video, work very well. For stills, it's kind of weak, but I'm okay with it. Not super high expectations, he's saying there. I recently sold my 70-240 and 70-300G for the new Tamrons. Okay, interesting. Freewell or Polar Pro? I actually got the Peter McKinnon ones. Like, they were expensive. I mean, I did buy them. To be completely honest with you, Freewell sent me those ones for free that I've got. But if I was purchasing them now after I did the review, and I have compared them, and I've done that as a review when I reviewed the Freewell filters. The Freewell filters are really just as good as the Peter McKinnon ones. Save your money and buy the Freewell ones. I purchased the Peter McKinnon ones, and I regret doing it now that I've got the Freewell because they were... The Peter McKinnon ones were probably, may have been a fraction better, and I'm talking a fraction better in color cast, but it takes 2 seconds to fix that in post. I would just get the Freewell any day of the week now because they're really, really good filters. They're still the 2-5 and the 5-9 or 6-9. They're great. I love them, and they're probably the ones that I would use. I like Polar Pro though. I like my 55 millimeter has a Polar Pro variable ND on that one, and I love that one. But yeah, probably Freewell seem to be really good in their NDs. I'm trying to sell my 70-300 for the 70-180. The 20-240 was okay, up to maybe 80. After that, then it's okay. Not bad, not good. Just okay. Okay. What else are we saying down here? Ike's just answering Langston. The Canon M50 has the PDAF, so it's right. You were there with the Sony system, but easier to use and looks good straight out of camera. Guy with the camera said, I had to sell the 24-240 2.8 f2 and older 70-200 2.8. Would love to get both the 70-180 and the 28-200. But only enough for one. Thinking of finishing my 2.8 Tamron Trio. A wedding lens, if it's on the A7S III with ISO 1 million, will be still okay. I love it. Just check down here, see if anyone else. When I ran into Aaron's photo and video at B&H in New York, I was going with my friend to help him get the Canon M6 Mark II. I suggested the Canon for him for the same reasons as you, Langston. Jared said, trying to sell my 24-240 Sony lens now. Super soft lens. Yes. Oh, so it is really soft then, guys. Interesting. And that's about it. Let me just see what Brandon says. Go with the camera, really. I'm planning on bringing mine for the Paris trip, plus my 70-200 f4 for some compression and longer shots. Altric said, loving my STC ND filters. Are they expensive, Altric, or they're not too dear? Just curious to know. I know the Freewell ones, you save a lot compared to, say, getting the Peter McKinnon ones. And I think the Peter McKinnon ones are Polar Pro, aren't they, if I remember correctly? I think so anyway. Aldrich said, yep. Remember, guys, though, you do usually get what you pay for. Don't buy cheap NDs. Usually I would say don't buy, or test them first, because you often get things like color casts and things like that can be put into the video file, which can be a lot of pain to get rid of. So do check what you're going to use. I do recommend sort of paying as much as you can afford, but I've found Freewell are a good sort of point that are not too expensive, and you're getting great quality. They really are good quality filters, the Freewell ones. I mean, they're not as beautifully presented, obviously, as the Peter McKinnon ones, but you know, the thing is that they're you get what you pay for, I suppose. The Peter McKinnon ones are better, but not worth the money. Now, and like I said, if you want to check it out, I did a review and I tested both against each other. Have a look at that, and you'll sort of see that they're both really, really good. All right, so let's get on to this next story. I'm only going to click on this just for a second because there's no real need to put a timeline in because it's only a bit of news. The Tamron have also put out a fix apparently for some lenses. Now it's only a few apparently, but there is a problem with some of the Tamron lenses. Now you can check with your serial number. It's a recall. So good on Tamron for being honest about this. Like I said, I had to get my A9 got recalled, for instance. I had to send my A9 back. So just go to the website. You can just click on that check serial number. Go to the website and it will tell you whether you need to send it back. It's something with this floating system which corrects the field curvature may be insufficient on the 70-180. So if you have got the 70-180, it might be good that you check it just to make sure and see if you have to send it back. I know it's a pain, but it's worth doing, because if it's going to be an issue or get worse as time goes on or something, it's better if you get it sent away. Erica just said, can you do a filter review with example for photos? Yeah, don't think I did photos, Erica. I only did video when I did it. I should try one time. I think I did do video photos of the waterfalls though. So I did do some photos in that review, I think. It's been a while since I put that up though. All right, so let me go into this next story, which is the Sigma 100-400. We're 49.40. So Sigma, again, like I said, how blessed are we, guys, that, you know, we've got Tamron bringing out incredible lenses. We're now getting Sigma also bringing out incredible lenses, and we're saving lots and lots of money at the same time. So this is something that you really should be thankful of, that we have this now in the Sony realm, that we're getting these great lenses. They're saying Sigma will release an affordable 100-400 lens for mirrorless cameras very soon, and I can bet this will be a beauty. They're preparing to release a 100-400 f5.6 to 6.3 lens designed specifically for full-frame mirrorless systems like the Sony E and Panasonic L mounts in the near future. And if the latest rumours are to be trusted, this lens will be extremely affordable, relatively speaking. I think they're saying down here that they expect it will cost around $1,000. So that is a massive saving against the Sony lenses. So again, if you haven't got the money, well, this is terrific. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can't go wrong, really. Sony's is slightly faster, though. They're saying here that it is a 4.5 to 5.6 G Master lens. And also, it will probably focus faster because it's got those linear motors in them as well. But if you're looking at the cost, if you can't get the GM, which they're saying down here that the GM is around about $2,500. You're going to save $1,500 roughly by buying the Sigma lens. So there's not much more at this stage that we can sort of say about that because it's only still in the rumour stages, but it's going to come very soon. The other thing is too, we'll probably get the 70 to 200mm will also probably be announced fairly soon as well. So we really are now, like I said, blessed in the lens area. It's fantastic. I mean, it really is great, and I can't wait to try that and have a look at it when that's released. Tamron probably will bring out something similar as well fairly soon. It wouldn't surprise me as well. Next story, because then I'll just open up Q&As. The Sony, it's quick, the Sony news, the rumours for today. 51... Oh, it's 52 actually. 52... Okay, so Sony, or there's, according to Sony Alpha Rumours, there is we're going to get 2 new cameras apparently coming out, but apparently this month sometime. That's what they're saying, but they're saying here that they've just got the Bluetooth certification test has just come out. So it looks like we may get that announcement soon. Now, usually when that comes out, the camera is announced fairly soon after that. They just said down here, as you may remember, I told you Sony is ready to launch 2 new cameras soon. The first is likely to be the A7S II successor, and that's the code number that they're talking about for that. And the second is a camera that will be the first of its line, and that was the one that I discussed last week. Just have a drink. Which we didn't know what it was. I mean, I was sort of speculating whether it was going to be a medium format camera, whether it was going to be the A7 IV, but they're saying this is going to be a completely new line. So it might be that it's a cheaper version. Remember, Nikon have just brought out, or they've just announced that they're going to have 2 low-end cameras. So I'm wondering whether Sony is going to do something as well. Like Ning just said there that two cameras equals an A7 IV and an A7S III. I don't think so. I wouldn't think that they'd announce both of those together. But I'll talk about that in a minute. Today, the second mysterious camera got the Bluetooth certification test. This is just one more confirmation it's going to be announced soon. The little I heard about this camera is it's the first of a new name line, and it's a full frame camera. So it's interesting. I mean, I'm not sure. Who knows what Sony's going to do in that regards. I don't know whether it would be. I can't see them releasing an A7 IV and an A7S at the same time, because they may take sales away from each other, and I'm not sure if that would be a great idea from Sony. They might determine that the A7S is so high-ended that they may bring out an A7 IV that has much less specs, that they still believe that they could sell and price that similar to the A7 III, I mean. Now, I think someone's just said a new camera line may be an A8. I mean, who knows, Sizzleman? I mean, I don't know. The thing is that I'm still deciding which way to go. I think more than likely, if they bring out an A7 IV and the A7 IV has 4K 60, for me, I'll call it a day and I'll probably get that camera. Even if the A7S III is really incredibly high spec and everything else, it's obviously you're going to have to pay for that, particularly here in Australia. So if Sony do give me a A7 IV that say has the 24 megapixels, or it might be slightly bumped up from that, if it had 4K 60, I would be happy with that, and I would probably get that over an A7S III. It might be that I get an A7S III further down the line when things pick up, but at this stage, that's really all I want. So if they did bring out both of those cameras, I would get an A7 IV instead of an A7S III. I think the difference is maybe that they may put something like a global shutter or something in the A7S line that will eliminate all the rolling shutter. The processor will probably be much faster in that camera. It might have internal NDs in that camera. They are going to have to give some real serious specs in that camera over the A7 IV to make you jump up and want to go to the A7S line. So you might find that it'll have, higher bit depths. It might come out with the Sony Venice color science. Could be, for instance, maybe put into the A7S. I think it probably will be. So there will be some real high-end video features that would probably try and force you, if you're a videographer, to move over to the A7S III. But for someone like me that sort of shoots more fusion, that is more stills orientated and video at the same time, it might be that the A7 IV is the camera for me. So I'm going to be excited when the A7S III is announced, just because it is a camera that one day I could probably get. But even if it was announced in 2 weeks' time, I'm not going to buy it. Well, for starters, I wouldn't have the money at the moment, but I'm not going to buy it until I hear what the A7 III successor has to offer. Then when they sort of announce that, what I probably will do is I'll make a decision between going for the A7 IV or the A7S III. I would be dumbfounded if Sony released an A7 IV and it didn't have 4K 60. So I think that's probably what I will do and what I'll wait for. So even if an A7S III is announced, yes, I'm probably going to be absolutely wrapped, and I'll be wrapped for Sony users that have waited so long for that camera. But I probably will still wait for an A7 IV, because I've got a feeling that the A7 IV is probably going to meet my needs more than what, say, a A7S III will. And then eventually when things pick up, I might get an A7S III as well, and probably sell my A7 III or something. But that's probably where I would go. Now let me just open up just so I can show you the Tamron, because I wanted to show you that Tamron lens, the dancing pics. Let me just open this up. Hopefully it won't crash. I normally do like using primes when I'm doing studio shoots and things like that. I often do use just primes, but I wanted to use the Tamron here because I had to do such different groups the whole time. I basically had to move between doing multiple groups, headshots, and things like that all individually. So let me just bring up these so you can have a look at them. And let me go to here. All right, so let me just show you some of these images that I shot with the Tamron. So these were all images that were done. Let me just see, can I go bigger on these? I don't think I can. No, they'll just have to stay like that. So these were all ones that I have done with the Tamron lens. Had multiple shots, so you can see the sort of setup here, how I'm doing it. It was a black screen that was come up. This one was all lit differently. So some I've used gels, some I haven't used gels on. If you're looking at them through here, you can see that these ones were lit differently again. There's a rose that I just wanted the rose sort of just to fall into the hand there, and they're lit with lights. There's 3 Profoto lights being used here to get these effects with gels on them. That's another one where it's lighting up. This is another one where they're jumping, coming through. What's this one? This one up here was another one where, you know, you look at some of the angles that these girls get to. It's just incredible. Where are we? And then we've got another one there where the girl's dancing up at the top there, and then obviously a group shot. These group shots were lit with 3 gels as well, which gives them that nice color sort of contrast coming through. They wanted that real colorful sort of look with a black background coming through. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you that, you know, how they look coming through these ones, which are just beautiful. But I was very, very happy with how the Tamron 28-75 went on that shoot. All right, so let's open it up to Q&A. Do you really want to quit? Yes. Let me just close this. And then we'll have open up to Q&A. So we're up to 1 hour 39. 39. Okay. So let's quickly go to Q&A. Let me open up that. I think it's locked again. Oh, no, there we go. All right. Brandon says, Anthony Hugh, the 85 GM is not that much different than the Sony 85 1.8 and way cheaper. Yep, I would get the 85 1.8 over the GM, the 1.4, just because of the cost. And I really think unless you really need to shoot at 1.4, the 85 is unbelievable. It's much better focusing. The 85 GM will be updated. There's no doubt about that will be updated with the linear motors like the 135. That's definitely going to happen sooner or later. Ike said, of the tests I've seen, the PM, Freewell, and Moment ND filters are all pretty compatible. Yep. Mick said, my serial number of the Tamron Sains mine is not affected. Well, that's great news, Mick. It's probably not that many, but you know, they have to put it out there, I suppose. I got the K&F and the color cast is bad. Yeah, it depends. I've got one K&F Altric and it's pretty good. So it may depend. You might find that the cheaper NDs, depending on the quality control, probably may not be as good on those ones as what you'd say pay for the Peter McKinnon or the Freewell ones. Or the Moment or Monument one, I think they're called Moment or something, aren't they? NDs are, because you're paying a lot more for those, the quality control is going to be a lot better. But the K&F one that I've got is pretty good. Nevac said the Sigma 100-400 really intrigues me, especially if the Sigma makes it weigh less than a brick. Mark said Tamron and Sigma will get interesting if they bring out long primes like the 400, 600 and 800. I agree, Mark, particularly how you shoot landscape and stuff like that as well. How about the Rumours, the Sony 12-24 GM? I have the 12-24F version and happy with it, but 2.8 though. I don't really think that it's... Well, I shouldn't say that, but I've heard that's going to cost a lot of money. You're going to have to justify paying the money for that lens. I would probably keep your 12 to 24 f4 version, and then I would wait and buy a wide-angle prime. But that's me. I don't think you really... f4 in such a wide-angle lens is pretty good, unless you really need to shoot in low-light environments where, you're going to have to raise your ISO up really, really high. I think the 12 to 24 f version would be perfect. Two cameras, the A7 IV and the A7S is hoping for. New camera line maybe A8. Yeah, who knows? Who knows, Kevin? I'm not sure. George said, they're describing the Sigma as light. Hope that is true. Love their 50 to 100mm 1.8, but it's sold because it was just too heavy to carry around all day. Aaron said also, I hope you get your 4K 60, David. Been waiting for this for over a year now. I know, a long time, Aaron, that's for sure. I've taken some fantastic shots with the 24 to 240 lens. Under the right circumstances, it can be very sharp. Mark said, how about the successor to the RX1R? Well, maybe, but I'm not sure what that's going to... It's certainly interesting. I'm really interesting to see, what they say about it. Aaron said the dance photos are off the charts. Thanks, Aaron. Yeah, it's a new dance studio that I've just started working for, and they love them. I also shot a video at the same time. Well, not the same time as that. We did some dance videos after that, so stay tuned because eventually I'll post those videos as well. That was a lot of fun. Erica said, beautiful shots. Thank you so much, Erica. Aaron said, Ike, what ND is cheaper than those that you have here? Nivik said, I think the 85 1.8 is one of the best deals now on the native Sony lenses. It is. It's an amazing quality lens for the price. It always has been a reasonably priced lens, the 85 1.8. It's superb. It's basically the same as the Batis. It's the same lens. The only thing is I've got the Batis version. I like that because it has in-body stabilization, and when I use that in the A6400 and stuff, it gives me a little bit more stabilized if I'm hand-holding it doing video and stuff like that. But for the cost, you can't beat the 85 1.8. It's fantastic. It really is good. Bruce said the same thing as well. Ike said the Freewell is the cheapest. I have the 2 to 5 stop 77mm version of the Freewell. Yep, it's such a great filter. I couldn't believe how good that filter is for the car for the price that it is. Hardly any, Aaron. It's very, very slight. You can check my review and I showed it. I love the 85 1.8. Carol said, yep, and I've seen some of your amazing photos with that, Carol. Maybe slightly warmer. That's about it. Nothing a white balance just can't fix in camera yet. It took me 2 seconds in post to fix it, so it wasn't an issue at all. I only noticed it really because I compared it to the Peter McKinnon. And the Peter McKinnon one was slightly better. Slightly. Not that I would worry about it. For the cost, I would go with the Freewell ones. That's for sure. NN said, David, love your work. Do you have Instagram? Yep, my Instagram, I'll put it in the chat, is just D Oastler. It's just D-O-A-S-T-L-E-R. If you put that into Instagram, you'll get it. The links are always down the bottom there anyway, so I do have all the links to my social media pages. But yeah, if you add me, yep, that'd be fantastic, and I'll add you back. Endeavouring said, check my serial number. Unfortunately, mine isn't affected by the recall. Really commend Tamron on taking the lead on this issue, though. Yep. I mean, some people get upset by these recalls, but really you should be thankful that a company is honest about it and admits that there was an issue. They did do that even when the 28 to 75 came out. They said that there was a focusing issue for some of them. I never found that to be an issue. I probably had a good lens, but there was an issue with some lenses, and they were honest about it at the beginning, and they said they'd release a firmware to fix it, and they did. Again, any company that offers to do a recall, you should be thankful that they're doing that and not trying to hide it and you know, not pretend it's there. So it actually is a really, really good thing. With the Peter McKinnon, you are paying much more for the name than the performance. Yeah, they are slightly better though, Ike, but only slightly, but not worth the money. They're definitely not worth the funds extra to pay for those ND filters. Apart from that, guys, we're just about at the end of the show. It's a smaller one today due to the fact that, you know, there's not that much news around. Stay tuned because I will be getting, like I said, the Tamron sometime this week. and I'll take it out and do some shooting for you. And when I get it, I'll do a live unboxing and just show you how the lens looks. So I'll do that with you. And I've got all this stuff to review that I showed you before as well. I remember the 28 had a video focus issue and contrast focus issue when shooting at 75. Yeah, mine never had that though. A lot of people call me a liar, but I didn't have it. It was quite funny when it came out. Yeah, love it. Aaron just said, love it if you could give me a thumbs up. Jim, I know you're hiding here, so hi, Jim. I know you're hiding there in the background. So I just wanted to say hi to Jim, my buddy. Jim, just to let everyone know, guys, Jim basically just wanted to look after his health, and he decided he would go offline for a while. Hopefully, Jim will come back. I miss him. But I know he's watching because he told me last week he was watching, but he's disabled all his accounts and he's just not there. So I miss Jim and I'd love to see him back again. So I'm just saying hi because I know he'll be watching this. But his health is more important. Apart from that, guys, hopefully we'll be back with Aaron next week. Aaron was busy this week. We couldn't get on. So hopefully next Wednesday or Tuesday, your guys in the US time, I'll be back with Aaron. That show is going to continue. It's just that Aaron's been very, very busy lately with work and things, and we just couldn't fit it in on that day. So hopefully we'll be back with that next week. Apart from that, everyone, thanks so much. Really love your support. And if you haven't followed, obviously, please subscribe to the channel. I'd love you if you could subscribe to the channel. And apart from that, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.